What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. Today is Wednesday, July 17th. Going to be looking at ES, like I have been for the last few weeks and months on TopstepX. Nothing new there. Going to be using Bookmap here, which I'll show you on the side. Got some action today for sure in the markets. I'll kind of go through what we had going on. A little bit of a frustrating morning, missing a couple really nice setups that I usually take. TopstepX was having a little bit of issues with candles printing, lagging a little bit. I have quite a few accounts, combines chained together, and I was paying attention, trying to get it to work on a tick chart, and then comparing against Bookmap, and inevitably just missing trades. So. Not the end of the world. TopStep's still number one, and it's not even close, in my humble, biased opinion, as a former TopStep affiliate and hoping to become an affiliate at some point in the future. They're still awesome. Every platform's going to have issues. TraderVate was having issues. I'm not making excuses for them. It's frustrating. It was frustrating for me, but this stuff happens, man. For the most part. The way that I operate, the tools that I use, they're pretty seamless. Not unheard of to have technical issues. It happens, man. It's resolved fairly quickly, but I kind of get hands off when I see that stuff start to happen. I'd rather just not get caught in a frustrating situation where you can't close a trade or you can't read some information. But let's go through some analysis quick. I don't have an immediate setup right now. I am watching a level on Bookmap that I want to pay attention to, and I am looking for a trade. I want to see how we react right here around pre-market low, and then consider a short to around 56.40 and a half, somewhere down here. We got a level on Bookmap. I will show you guys that in a moment. But if we zoom out on the 1 minute here. Again, this is ES, the S&P mini futures contract on the 1 minute chart. This is TopstepX. We sold off overnight, right? We had some action. We didn't have this really tight consolidating range that we've been seeing for quite a bit of the overnight sessions. We had some action, man. We came down pretty aggressively, right? Quite a few points, let's say. All the way past prior day low, which is designated by this line here. We got below that in pre-market, put this pre-market low in, and we've come below that so far. If we look at how the session opened up, I like, if we open up bullish below VWAP, this is the standard session VWAP. This is a trade you guys will see me take. I do like to get long towards that VWAP. Simple trade, kind of short, short hold time, scalp style trade. I watched this happen, and again, this is when TopstepX was having some technical issues with the charts. I was watching this happen, this push up, retest, and then continuation. I would have gotten long down here easily. This was my game plan, was waiting for it, and that played out very, very nicely. The second trade, which I really like to take as well, is an aggressive trade right off of one of my levels following the structure of pre-market. Right, we got bearish structure. We're coming off hard correction after putting in all-time highs. Hey, maybe we can head lower. If not, even if we're going to come higher, we're not blasting through prior day low. As I was watching this a little bit, again, messing with Bookmap, missing the trade. I would have missed the sell right off of prior day low, right? Because my order's usually right there. Probably wouldn't have been filled even a tick below, maybe. But as soon as we started to react, I would have gotten short all the way down towards this low. And even better, we had liquidity sitting right here. I called it out in Discord. Go back, check me. Don't take my word for it. I said more orders stacking up at, let's see, what time was this? 9:55. Yep, right here, right as we were coming off the low, orders came on the books, stacking up at 55.60. All the way down here, right at this low. Bunch of liquidity came on. Easy trade to come down and grab that. Cheap trade, stop loss right above here, targeting that area. Maybe you take one off in between. Maybe you take one off here and leave one on towards pre-market low. This was a really nice one and just frustrating to watch it go. I get aggressive. These are my setups in the morning for 9:30. Again, simple stuff, using to and from levels, using Bookmap, reading some price action, some market structure, nothing major. I don't care when it doesn't work out, because I know, there'll be a distribution where it works out, it doesn't work out, and my win rate and risk to reward let me be net green, take money out of the markets in the long run. But when I miss the trades play out in front of me and they do work out, there is that, and it's not me missing the trade. There's a little bit of frustration there. So again, Top Step still number one. I could care less, as a whole in the grand scheme of things. I'm just giving you the where my head's at coming into this trading session, 10:30 to about 12. So it happens, man. Again, mostly seamless. Technical stuff's going to happen. Messing with the tick chart, and I probably could have got in on these, just, again, was playing with Bookmap, trying to see what data was being presented, wanting to have the right data, and, I missed both of them. But, on a positive note, that's your system working out, right? You shouldn't always be upset that you miss a good trade because for whatever reason you missed the trade. Maybe it's, in my issue, a technical issue, actual, platform issue. Maybe it's just your lack of conviction. You didn't act quick enough, but you get that added boost of confidence to say, hey, look at that. Both trades that I was looking at worked out. I could feel good about that. So anyway, we came down. I didn't trade at all on this, on the main stack of accounts that I have now. This is 4. This is 1 combine chained to 3 followers, so it's 4 combines. I switched to 1 single one because, again, just a little bit feeling out of the pocket, a little bit frustration. Anytime I notice anything with emotion where I'm not 100% where I should be, I try to reduce risk if I can, or just step away. I also had missed 2 good setups, and I know my chances start to run out if I'm still looking and maybe the market's not doing what I needed to do. Anyway, got a little bit of trading done on a separate combine. I'll show you guys. I recorded it. I'll give you guys the recap afterwards. Just taking shorts on the way down. Took a little bit of heat on it. Definitely brought it into the red, and then right back up just past break even, like 80 something bucks. More of a comeback from a loss than anything else, so nothing stellar there. Yeah, so here we are. So what happened after this? So here's our 15-minute opening range, prior day low, pre-market low. We pushed up to prior day low, tapped VWAP, broke above 15-minute opening range. Now we broke down below, broke down pre-market low, pulled back up, tested session VWAP and 15-minute opening range low. Like, look at how these levels are tested, right, guys? On a day like today, where we got this really back and forth action, I like a little bit more of my chart, We're not in between volume point of control and pre-market high and prior day high. I don't have that to use as reference. So this is when I'll add stuff like 15-minute opening range high, 15-minute opening range low, and maybe a VWAP or 2. I'm thinking about adding one right now, the anchored VWAP off the high of session. It just depends where we are with the levels that I traditionally use, and maybe I need to get something else going. We get below everything. I look to add discretionary levels just to give me some frame of reference here as we're really zoomed in on the 1-minute chart. So we're coming back down. This is looking bearish. This was, really nice clean break and retest. Here was the prior low broken that lined up. That was the 15-minute opening range low, lined up with session VWAP. We stayed below, New York NYSE open anchored VWAP, stayed below session VWAP. Now we're breaking back down below pre-market low. I'm going to wait to see if this looks like it's going to continue. We got a level here that if I'm going to target, now's the time. I'll show you guys on Bookmap. This is coming off of lows, right? Let's just, so you guys know where my chart markup is. This is coming off of lows down here. Obviously, this would be some volume point of control or high areas of volume. I like to use that as well as just the, discretionary support and resistance area of interest. That's what I want to go to, area of interest. Since I'm arguing with so many people on social media about liquidity these days. That's what I'm looking at next. High of this level, high of where I have this zone marked out, happens to be lining up with an area of liquidity that's stacked up on Bookmap for quite a while now. Scroll out. And I don't mean to be talking fast at you guys, but I want to get this out so I can focus up here. Here is Bookmap. If you got questions, ask them in the chat. I will be happy to answer in a little bit. Here is Bookmap. Order flow tool. I won't explain everything on here. You can go back through and watch my lives. This is orders stacked up in the market. I shared this and told you it came off early. There's quite a bit at the 30s. We got them at the 40s now. 56. Let's say 56.40 is what I would be looking at. This is a This is a decent quantity of orders relative to what's on the book today to potentially target as an area of liquidity that price may be drawn to. Okay, that's what we're looking at here, right? This is the quantity of orders on the book here. That if we're going to break lower, here's an area I want to pay attention to. As stuff comes on and off the book, we want to pay attention to it. Here was this the 60s? Yep. This is where we pushed up. Here was the level. It's looking a little bit light now that you could see where we had orders stacking up at 60 that we came down and tagged earlier, where I missed the trade, and I'll go cry about it later on. Just kidding. So that's what I'm looking at on a book map. We got a little bit up here. If I play around with it, you could these become a little bit more prominent. If I display different amounts of data on the heat map, the colors change. Little bit at 60, quite a bit at 40. So if I'm looking low down, which I am today right now, that's the area. If I'm looking on my candlestick chart, and again, this stuff changes. This changes fairly rapidly, so you do have to have it open. I'll call out important stuff as I see it in the chat, but if I'm not going to tell you as soon as it's coming off, like in Discord, I really shouldn't be telling you about it because you won't be aware if the orders start to get ripped right off the book. So we're coming lower. I'm not going to say if I wait to here, I'm going to want to jump in short and target, this area right here. Again, I like to go a little bit above. Let's go with orange so we know we're looking at a book map level. Let's make it a little bit lighter color so it's not driving me crazy. Yeah, I've been having good luck if I do target these levels, or I'm using them as a TP or where to place a stop loss. I go above or below them based on it being on the offer, the bid. Just a safety measure. Same thing if I'm targeting a high or a low or a certain level. I try not to grab every last tick out of it. It's not it's just not necessary in my book. If it's spoofing, if it's orders that are going to start to get pulled off the book, maybe price starts to turn real quick. Maybe I still get the fill being half a point to a point above or below where that actual level really is. And that's okay with me. So we're pulling back up now. Again, I'd like to try this short, just continuing this move to the downside. I'm looking at how this died out really quickly, and we could turn this into a range day. If we continued with aggression lower, right here as I was hopping on the live, I would want to be short down to this level. I'd say, hey, I think we're going to come down to it, probably break below, and we got a correction in store. It's going to be a trend day lower. That's definitely still on the board. Definitely still on the board to come and hit this level, which I'm debating taking right now. Would have to put quite a bit of risk on to get this. Yeah, in the S&P, I feel really good if I can get if I'm trading with the trend, it's not a off a level. 5 or 6 points is pretty sweet. If I could keep it that tight, not always reasonable. Sometimes you got to get closer to that 10-point mark. Again, so my interpretation of this price action of what we've seen today so far is this looked like we were going to continue this sell-off from pre-market, ripping lower. I don't really pay attention to the other markets, but I was listening to TopStep TV trying to figure out when they were going to fix that issue, and Dow was making all-time highs. NASDAQ was selling off aggressively. ES was kind of messing around in the middle, so we got some divergence between the U.S. indices as well. I do still think there's a real possibility that we just come back up. We come back into this range. This ends up being a rangy day. This was the action of the morning, and now we're not going to continue ripping lower. This is certainly telling me that so far, right? The last, what are we at, about 10:15? Yeah, last 30 minutes of price action, kind of choppy consolidating. We didn't continue this aggressive sell-off, pull back up, and had we continued with some momentum, with volume behind it to the downside, that would really be screaming at me to say, hey, we're gonna go farther lower, get a stop loss up here, jump in, and ride that down. Right now, we're kind of reacting. We're back up around highs. I really, really want to try this trade off a book map to the downside, but I'm using price action and market structure as well with everything else that I use. So I'm just gonna wait a minute here. Option one is you take the trade from up here. I'm not taking anything just yet, guys, but I'm gonna map this out from you. Option one is you take the trade from up here. Maybe you give it a couple ticks, maybe not, to come above this high. Maybe you keep it pretty wide, and you got to target this lower low. Still a nice risk to reward, relatively. If I'm trading, minis, this is a fairly large amount. Option two is you wait for it to come lower, and you take something down here. You get more conviction that price is going to continue lower. Sellers in control. You got volume behind it. You go stop loss just above this level, and and maybe you're targeting that same level. You don't have the same risk to reward. Maybe there's a higher probability of that trade working out because you have more. You're reducing the risk that this just continues up from right here. You're letting it break the low again and show you that it does want to move lower. For me right now, I'm kind of just challenging myself to stay patient. After missing a couple of good trades, I know that I'm more inclined to take a trade. So I want to be ever so certain that my setup is presenting itself. So threw a lot at you guys there for the first 20 minutes of this. Hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully it wasn't too much yapping, but that's what I come on here and do. Try to keep it focused, give you guys the info. If you want to hear someone BS and just talk about nothing, maybe while we're watching the markets and waiting, I'll do that. But for the most part, I keep it pretty focused. Yeah, what I really would have liked to have seen for this one right here is after this type of chop consolidation, we crack up above all this. We're not getting it. Obviously, this is ideal. We crack above this real quick, break the recent high, and then come down and break the low. I'm in. I'm in that one. That's a no-brainer trade. This looks like it's coming lower. So, if you're watching this, I'm probably going to watch this play out in front of me and not be in it. Similar to yesterday where I had a trade play out in front of me. I'm just going to wait on this one. I don't want to take the loss where it just comes back up here and stops me. I've watched too much of it already. I missed my really, really good opportunities here. This one isn't as good, and that's part of trading. But I'll come on here, give you guys the value of me explaining what I'm seeing, why I'm doing or not doing what I'm doing, why I'm trading or not trading, and hopefully you find some value in that. I know everybody wants to trade. I know everybody wants to see me in a trade. I want to trade. I want to make money, or be in the markets to have more trades that over the large sample size will play out profitably if you're running a profitable system. But part of it is not taking the stuff that you don't have the conviction on. You don't have the full setup and risk structure to tell you now's the time, the pull the trigger moment. Yeah, order's still there. It's even heavier. At best now, this is around a 1-to-1. Um, yeah, not even really where I'd want to go above this level. Um, to survive the quick wick back up. Wouldn't need to come all the way up there. You could go all the way down here, just playing the continuation. You could take this and manage it pretty aggressively, get stop loss to break even, or even lower as it starts to break, if it starts to break. But too slow, not enough momentum, not this movement that I like to see. Again, if you jumped on late, here's what I'm talking about on Bookmap when I'm saying order's still down here. This is the level that I'm looking at, right around that 56.40. This is a decent amount of orders on the book right here. Price, at least ES, seems to be drawn to those levels if it's lining up with the direction, the trend, the market structure of the day. If it's headed towards that, they're nice areas to use as targets. That one also happens to be lining up on my chart with a level that I had previously drawn. So, I don't like to use anything exclusively or spot one thing somewhere and say, oh, I'm going to make a decision based on that. No, it all has to come together and, support this thesis that says I think there's a higher likelihood of this working out, continuing in the direction of my trade to my target, or at least far enough where I can manage the trade rather than it going the other way. And along with that, I have a way to structure my risk appropriately. So, yeah, we got some buyers up here as well. I could see this stuff, coming on the book. So, we're struggling to break lower again. We're kind of sitting here. There's definitely some volume being traded. We could see it there. We could see it with the bubbles. So, I'm not sold on the short yet, guys. I'll miss it from here. I'm not going to take it lower. That's it. I'm just going to watch this play out, and I'll wait for another setup. If we come lower, it'll be hard to short. We pull back up higher, turn it into a range day. Maybe there's a trade to be taken. I'm not taking a trade if we come back up here, so I'm just in the wait and see. That's where I'm at. Here was the opportunity, like I was talking about. If you wanted to take it somewhat aggressive up around here, was getting ready to, would give you an option to structure your risk if you were in it now from up here. Maybe we had something like this rolling. We're targeting that level. You could get stop loss to break even, or even smarter, maybe just above that level. And you would have a trade running in profit from there. 6 points of profit. Maybe you could take one off. But we're waiting. It's banging against this low. It does look like it wants to break. There's a question as to why it's not broken right through as it was coming down if sellers were in control. But this is a lot of liquidity, and I'm really interested to see if it comes down and takes this. A lot of volume traded here, quite a bit. You could even see it down here on the traditional volume. You can see it on Bookmap. Again, if you guys got trading questions, feel free, ask them in the chat. I don't mind. I know that was a lot of information that I threw at you. I wanted to get all that out so you knew where I was at for this morning, and then I could start to focus up because I saw a trade developing. Now I'm kind of just in waiting mode. We got a reaction here. This will be interesting if we come lower after wicking up like that. Had some volume traded. Buyers tried to step in to bring the thing higher, tapped pre-market low, and now we look like we want to come lower. There's a setup here, guys, too. There's a sell right from this level or right as we break. Now that we cracked back up, buyers tried it, couldn't maintain control, and you go with a stop loss just above that high, because if this is going to continue, we really don't want to come back above that. No wick to the downside on this 1 minute candle. I think this is I think this might break. Yeah, orders still on the book. They lightened up ever so slightly. That's what it looks like to me, just looking at this. Yeah, see this was almost what I needed to jump in. Now we got a little bit more structure. I got a level to trade off of. Had this started to break right here, um, that would have looked pretty good for a short with a stop just above there. Pretty tight risk to come right down and test that level. You get a really nice risk to reward out of it. You could take one off down here, where there's more potential to see a reaction as well as we try to crack a low. But we got so much hesitation and trading being done here. I don't love the consolidation just to try to take the break of the consolidation. Watching Bookmap, that's still on, still on the book. There's definitely some orders before all that algorithmic stuff, right at 40. Yeah, just below where price is at right now, 49. See what happens when we get right here below the lows. We got some people stepping in to buy. If we break right through that, we start to come lower, I might try it. Here we go, tapping into it. Does it bust through? Tapped into that level. A lot of orders filled. Yeah, I don't know that I have the conviction for this one, guys. I don't. That was buyer stepping in again. Watched a level come on, right at that level, right we were talking about, right? Cracked below, tapped into it. Quite a bit of volume traded. You could even start to see it on the traditional volume, just right down on the candlestick chart. Cracking higher. Again, I want to get short to this level. I gotta have a good reason to, and a good way to structure risk, and I'm just watching it play out in front of me, unfortunately. There we go, coming through it. Yeah, just too much shop for me, guys. I'm not gonna take it. I'm like debating doing it now. Um, this was my entry up here. Didn't have the conviction. Didn't have the setup for it. Again, not like the nice wick up above. This looks good. I think we're hitting this level down here. I do. I just don't have it. Don't have it in me for this one. Stop loss right above that level. Put me a little over $250 worth of risk to make a little bit more on one contract. I think it's short. I think that's the play. Just too much hesitation. I'm just watching too much stuff come on and off Bookmap, and none of these are super convincing that like we're starting to get that break. I think it's more likely just to be the kind of slow back and forth trend down, and tap this, but just don't have it in me. Frustrating. Frustrating to not get the the third opportunity, I should say, because I had two this morning. But we'll watch it. A short from anywhere down here is my plan. Stop loss above here, initially way up here with a stop loss above here. That would have played out very nicely so far. But it is what it is, as the kids say. Again, you guys got questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. Hop in the free Discord. I run a free Discord with live trading. You see, you got that BS going on. Free Discord, live trading. I'm active in it every single day. Active community, growing fast. We're adding 10, 20 members a day. Live trading, analysis, my charts every day, what I'm looking at, a voice message explaining what I'm looking at for that day, explaining my charts, explaining my approach, risk management, everything. You guys get everything from me for free here. And be happy to have you in the community. More than happy. Link in the description, link in my bio, link all over the place. Nikki, what's going on? Looks like it's trying to hold a higher low to me, run up into the gap and grab liquidity before any moves lower. Yeah. Yep. Right now, this just feels like a buyer is trying to take it higher. They can't. Sellers continuing to take it lower, and we're looking at this kind of slow trend to the downside. using Bookmap and looking at this level here is the only reason I have the conviction to, or I don't have the conviction fully to take the trade, but the reasons to want to be short, such a strong indication here. Just watching how this has played out in the past. When there's a level like that with a lot of orders sitting in the book, ES likes to go and get it, despite whether it's going to go up, whether it's going to go down. If it's this close, trading towards that is a pretty good idea. And if you're going to trade away from it, having a stop loss on the other side of it by a decent amount is probably a pretty good idea from what I've watched so far utilizing order flow and Bookmap. But not an amazing risk structure. I don't like this super slow, choppy moving price action. I like this. This tells me, hey, we're moving lower. And then, hey, as we start to pull up, what happens? We react pretty aggressively. Nice. Let's continue. Just like what we're looking at right here to the downside. This is, this is showing more so that buyers and sellers are at odds. We got trading being done. We still have quite a bit of volume over here. We just don't have an imbalance between buyers and sellers, or, one, outweighing the other and bringing the thing lower. So when you think about it that way, I get less convinced to take these. But we got some people hopped on. If you hopped in late, missed two nice trades today based on TopstepX having some technical issues. Not a huge deal. Again, I'm not complaining. It's just what happened. They're still number one in my book by a long shot. This would have been trade number one, targeting VWAP, something along those lines. Maybe I got a worse entry. Maybe it's something like that. Totally cool. That would have been a nice winner. Again, following the push up. We're below VWAP. I think we're likely to come and hit VWAP before we continue lower. Also lining up near prior day low. That was a nice trade. Second one would have been aggressive off this. I would have missed my entry way up here. Sometimes I'll do a limit order. I would have missed that. That wouldn't have filled. So maybe I got short all the way down on this candle, or even late, let's say, on this candle. Stop loss. Let's see if it's 4, maybe 2 points, something like that, 2.5 points. I try to be realistic when I talk about stuff in hindsight. It didn't happen. I didn't take the trade, so crap. You can grain of salt it with. It didn't happen, so probably something along those lines. If I'm looking at this now, I probably would have taken one off right here as we started to slice through that. It's likely what would have happened, and then closed the full position here. Would have had the final take profit right there. That would have played out nicely if. It actually happened really quick. This might have been one of those ones where it just plays out super quick. I take the full position here, or half off and one down here, because I like trading to pre-market low as well. That's my trades for the day. No, would have been my trades for the day. Two that would have played out nicely. As we were coming down here, I swapped accounts. Wasn't looking to buy pre-market low. Took a couple scalping trades on the way back and forth, and pretty much ended break even. This is another nice one right here. Had we started to reject pretty hard off this, the way we rejected really quickly off of here, this could have been another nice short. Maybe just targeting pre-market low, maybe targeting the low here, either which would have gotten really close on this one. This would have played out. This would have been another win. Just utilizing your levels, utilizing structure of the day, the whole deal. So retesting pre-market low. Bookmap, order still on, still looking bearish. Maybe that's the liquidity it needed to come and pick up, like my friend in the chat was talking about. Nothing major there on Bookmap that I was watching that it was coming to take. No massive volume that was traded up here, but we are continuing lower. Order's still on, man. They came on and off, but they're still on at that 40 level. Let's look at where high of day VWAP would have been. I'm tempted to try it from down here. Now we got a little bit more structure. I'm going to wait to see if I want to slam this sell button real quick, guys. This is what I'm looking at. Boom. Simple. We failed to get above this before we go lower. I'm looking short. What are we doing, ES? What are we doing here?
Order filled.
I'm trying it from the volume was really low. I'm trying it from down here, guys. This is the only setup that I'm going to have for the rest of the day. I'll explain in more detail what I'm looking at, but this is going to be the target. I got one on, pretty light risk for what you guys usually see me take on. This is across multiple accounts. This is one that I would likely let run all the way to the stop loss. We're at somewhat of a pivotal point here. It's time for this thing to come lower now after cracking above this high, retesting pre-market low, and then coming all the way back down. It's time for it to come lower, check this level of liquidity out, continue its move to the downside, or even get close and have me watch that happen and orders come off the book and manage the trade, or turn from here and push up. We haven't broken below this low yet, but I'm not waiting for it to happen. I'd like to put the risk on now. Watching that happen, sellers aggressively step back in and start to bring the thing lower, that's enough for me to try it out. If I got to take the $300 loss on it, that'll be it for the day. That's pretty much it. So I like it. That was enough for me to say, hey, it's time to put the trade on. I think it'll play out pretty quickly. I think we're either going to push right back up above this, stop me out, or we're going to break here and continue lower. We chop around, I'll probably be taken out also because we'll just crack above this. But I want to see the breakdown fairly aggressively and start to move to the downside. Or, like I said, I'll probably hold this one to a full stop out. So, in a short, we got risk on, looking to play with the movement of the day, the trend of pre-market, the trend of where we're at now, really below every marker, every indicator that I'd have on my chart to say you should probably be looking for a short. Waited for market structure and price action to do its thing, start to give me an idea that now's the time. And this is pretty much all I see setting up for me. Again, from here, if it comes lower, I'm missing the trade. If I didn't jump in here, missing the trade, and maybe trying to jump in lower, do something different. Comes back up into the range. We're coming back up maybe to test anchored VWAP, session VWAP. Trade fails, and we move on. But it looks like it wants to come in and take me out here, so we'll see. Yeah, order's still stacked at that level, so I want to see if I can find an entry that makes sense to target it. We'll see how it plays for me. But all good. That's part of trading, man. You take the wins, you take the losses, you put on risk when you see fit. I waited for quite a while on that one to try to find the right spot. We'll see if I get it or not. Doesn't look like it. Looks like it wants to push up and take me right out. Again, I'm not gonna kill it here. I'm gonna give it a little bit of room to breathe, retest this area. If it's gonna come up higher though, that's my invalidation point to say I no longer want to be in a short. Here was a chance to come back down and break this level, head towards what I'm targeting. We don't get that now. I'll be done. That'll be that. Yeah, again, also if it's chopped before it moves down, this big type of choppy action, I'm not surviving it with my stop loss where it is. But if you guys got questions, feel free, ask them in the chat. We got a trade on. We're in drawdown. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look like it's playing out the way that I'd like it to, which was breaking below these lows pretty quickly. Like I said, giving the trade some room to breathe. If we come down below these lows now, maybe I drag the stop loss tighter. I don't need to let it come above these highs. But right now, that's enough room for me on ES. Yeah, even more orders on Bookmap at this level that I'm targeting here have stacked up at this 5640. So that is a serious level of liquidity. Whether we're going to go to that at all, whether we're going to go higher before we go to that, those are all the questions you have to ask yourself. But utilizing Bookmap, if these stayed on, I'd be surprised if we didn't come to it. If it needs to wick above, another 10 points, take maybe everybody out, get way above here, take everybody out that's getting short down here like me, before coming further down. That's potential, but take a note, 5640. If that stays on the book, which I'll be watching for the rest of the day just to see what happens, I'll leave Bookmap on, and it doesn't come down. That'll be an interesting note. Buyers taking it higher. We got volume. Buyers stepping in. Yeah, it looks like it's going to kill me on this one. But that's part of the game, man. Above the high. And stopped out yet. ES, what are we doing, man? No, survived that piece, the crack above the high. We got a little bit of of an uptrend forming on the 1 minute. Not looking super great. Let's see. We come down and break this low. Maybe we got a chance for this to play out. We turn around here. I'm out. I'm out for a loss. Let's see. Yeah, bookmap's still there. Long wick to the downside. Doji candle. That doesn't look good. Yeah, I'm going to
order filled.
I'm going to clip that one there, guys, at 250. That's enough for me. I think it's very likely to come up and just take the last $50 off my stop. This pretty much would have been it right here. We come all the way down and break below with force. Maybe there's another entry, but that's enough heat for me. Took the L. Yeah, just didn't continue lower. Here was the read, pushing down this second time, jumping in before it broke the low, waiting for it to start to come down, stop above the high. But now we're cracking above highs multiple times. This looked like the crack above the high, take anybody out that was getting short down here first, and then ready to move lower. And now that we moved higher like that, those orders coming off at 56.40. Look at that. Yeah, but that's pretty much going to be it for me for this session. I don't see anything else that's going to set up now that we've got this choppy back and forth price action back into the range. Really nothing for me that's looking super appealing. $250, not the end of the world. Missed two nice trades that would have made this a very green day even with this L, but we take the losses that come along with the wins, man. That's part of it. Been on a hell of a win streak on the lives up until this point, but that has to get broken at some point. Yeah, I'm gonna give it another 5 minutes or so, watching the market, just in case this is the big turn down. I might try it again. I'm not opposed to do that. Look at that, man, all the way back down to my entry. Yes, man. This is going to be one of those stop me out and continue lower. I could see it already. Below the low, below these lows, coming to test the next low. Yeah, orders at 640 lightened up, but they're still there. Oh. I'm going to have to watch this one. With you guys. Try the tight stop loss down to the bottom. We pull back up and continue. I might get it with 2 contracts.
Order
I'm
filled.
trying it again, guys. You're gonna watch me see. You're gonna see me either take a win or 2 losses today. Again, broke the low. This looked like the same. This is the same setup. Just broke the low, came back up, took everybody, including me, out of the stop. Coming down with some force. Orders back on, heavy still at 56.40, targeting that same area. That's what I'm looking at right here. We'll see if I can get an aggressive entry, retesting this low on the way down with force. That's the reason for selling into this buying pressure. Was tempted to go 2 contracts, but that would really be into the momentum as we were coming down. But I don't know that this one's going to play nice with me either. But I know when it's time for me to take the trade, and that's the time. Let's see it, ES. Let's see if Bookmap wants to play nice today. Nope. Doesn't look like it. Now we're going to get expansion. Break the lows and then come all the way back up and break the highs. Don't like these candles. Don't like the no wick to the upside. I think we're coming back up here at least. But I'm going to wait to see. I'm in it now. You know, when we get this type of price action, a push back up, a breakdown below all the lows, and then we don't get follow through. We get a continuation of the upside. That's not abnormal. You know, what's normal in trading. But that's the price action I tend to get killed on. And I think most guys do. Again, probably going to let this one hit my stop as well if it has to come all the way back up there. That's the invalidation point for this trade. Sold into buying pressure, right? Immediately on the 1 minute, right? I'm looking at selling pressure overall here. But as we came back up, really right at this retest level, aggressive selling, first green candle if it was red and green. I'm selling, looking for the continuation. Want to give it room to push back up here. Trade idea still valid before coming down. Where are my targets at this area of liquidity down here? Just would have been playing out in profit. I would have been fine in the first trade initially as we came back down. I got to see where my initial stop was. I cut it $50 before the stop. Here I am in the very similar trade. Still looking okay. Again, we come back up past these highs. I think it's less likely to work out. I hate the no wick to the upside on these. That doesn't give me the warm, fuzzy feeling, but not enough for me to cut the trade. But as promised, man, this is what you guys get with me: the good, the bad, real trading. I'll show you. And even then, is it the good or the bad, or is it just how it's playing out overall? You'll get the wins and the losses. That's what I should really say. The green days and the red days. Hopefully we have more green and the green are bigger, but you'll get the red days as well. I don't love this. We got some orders at like 49, 48 and a half. See what happens there. Somewhat just below where price is. Still the same area of liquidity that I'm targeting for that large quantity of orders. Nope, didn't even tap into that. Buying pressure, back and forth, really choppy. Man, long wick to the upside. That's interesting. Right around pre-market low again. You know, this is giving me the opportunity to close for less of a loss, but I still see this potentially playing out. I still like the trade idea. It's not invalidated to me yet. Yeah, we got some orders that came on the book right around 49, above my level here. I want to see what happens if we do get down here before we hit my stop loss. What happens right around this level? Back and forth, choppy price action. Let's see. Yeah, there are some orders on the book at 49, which I don't really love looking at that. I'm going to watch what happens right here. If we react really hard to the upside, if we get down here, that's not making a good case. If we push through this with some force, that would be a whole lot better for this trade idea. Let's see as we approach it. Again, if we react really hard to the upside off of that, just using book map and seeing what's on the book. We see buyers start to take this thing higher. I might just cut this thing a little bit before the stop loss if it even gives me a chance, because there's a chance that it just gets ripped higher as we tap into this. But want to give it the chance to break through, which is what I've seen quite a bit as well. Caught in some choppy trades today, man. It's not super fun. While we're waiting, if you guys got trading questions, feel free. Ask him in the chat. In a choppy short here that's not playing super nice with me. Targeting an area of liquidity on Bookmap. Looking for a break lower to the downside and a run towards these orders, but it's not looking fantastic. Again, took one short, cut it just before the stop. Came back down, broke the low, pulled back, and is now failing to go lower again. All the way back down to this level. $48 and 3/4 is really what I want to watch to see what happens if we come down to that before it stops me out. Excuse me, 49. There we go. Tapped into that. Let's see. Oh, not really. Not really. Yeah, I'm going to hold to see what happens right around this level, right around this 49. I think we're likely to either get some selling pressure and push through or react pretty violently to the upside. So we might have some action for better or for worse coming up right here. 49.5. See, sellers are bringing it in. There we go. We got some orders being filled. Do we start to break through? That's the action that I'm talking about. Does it continue to the downside? Can sellers stay in control now? Let's see. Watching Bookmap is fun, man, I gotta say. It's pushed through. We got a lower low in. Do we react really violently to the upside here is the question, or do we continue down towards my target? Can we break these lows? Giving it its time to do its thing. No, it doesn't look like sellers are staying in control on this one, guys. There's the reaction to the upside pretty violently. Just want to see if it's the quick back and forth before we get the big movement down. Because, again, there's the selling pressure that came in. You could see the volume. You could see it on Bookmap. I'll show you guys after. This is where you can start to see the big move happened, right? I was discussing getting ready. As we came into that level, we should see some aggressive selling, and we started to sell through it. Sellers stayed in control, brought it lower. This could just be the quick wick up before we push down lower pretty aggressively. Again, or start to react, buyer step in quickly and bring this thing up with some force. But I like this trade idea. I'm fine with the risk on in the market. I'm okay with where my stop loss is. Obviously, don't like my entry. Would be happy to be way higher up. But based on where we're at over here, my entry was right there. It is where it is. So a little bit more time. Let's see. Can we do it? Order's still on the book. It's trending towards that. It's trying to come and tag this level that I got marked. No, I don't know if we're going to get it. But I'll take the losing day if I have to. Normal losses. That's all part of the game. I think sellers can do it, man. I'm watching Bookmap. It looks like they want to try. That wasn't the huge rip higher straight through my stop loss back up into the VWAP. It's not blasting through with force. They took it lower, but looking at the DOM, it's still looking down, man. You're again gave me the option to get out at break even a handful of times. I know the amateur move of closing after you've been in drawdown and then watching it just take off in the direction of your trade far too well. So I prefer not to do that in the pursuit of the winning trades and take the losing trades that come along with doing that. Can we do it, man? Can we push lower? Break out of this range now that we've got going, this consolidation. Definitely some volume that's come in. So we got some buying, right? You could see the trading pick up. Only thing at this point is now that we've got so much time that's passed and more trading done and more volume in here, the chance for the wick higher, but past my stop loss, hit the hit like the session, the anchored VWAP to NYSE open before a continuation lower is possible. As this volatility picks up a little bit, that becomes more real. But I'm staying in this one for now. It comes way back against me. Maybe it gives me a chance to manage before that stop, but I'm holding it for now. Green for today, but I'll hang out. Awesome, Matt. We win some, we lose some. That's how trading is. Keep up with the streams. For sure, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's like you got to, if I came on here and won every day, like I had been on a pretty decent win streak, if I came on here and won every day, you'd know for certain that I was full of shit. That's just the fact of it. Couldn't do it, man. Couldn't break down through this level. One other thing I'll add is as we start to come down lower, if we start to come down lower before we just come back and stop me out, just get the big picture of things here. If we start to come down lower and we approach the target, the level that I have a target at, and those orders come off the book, I'm going to cut this winner very short. I'm utilizing this area from Bookmap. If that starts to show me some different information, I'm going to change that target. I'm going to manage it much differently. Man, need a break. Need the big breakdown. I gotta say, guys, this one's testing me though. This is testing my time, my not my ability to hold trades. You know, losing trades to a stop loss or to a target. But when we get this much chop and consolidation, I really get less convinced and I have less desire to hold the trades. This one is still looking good based on the original reason, the book map, the market structure, the general approach of trading with the trend for the day, for the pre-market, targeting a level that I think is easily achievable below lows at that 640, which also lines up with a level of structure that I had marked off on my chart before I even looked at Bookmap. All of that stuff looks good. The price action itself is pretty choppy to sit through. Whether or not we'll get it, we'll see. We get it here. There's a little bit of the break. Let's see. Again, I'm going to watch Bookmap now, guys, as we come lower and decide if I want to make any changes. We really need to see it break down below this low with some force. If we start to see orders come off the book, I'm going to cut this thing wherever it is, because when that happens, there's much more potential for price to reverse. It's not going to be drawn to that liquidity anymore, and we can see the reversal happen pretty quickly. But we got selling. We got a lot of volume being traded. This can certainly reverse right from these lows. Buyers stepping in right there, bringing it a little bit higher. I'm not going stop loss to break even on this. I'll be stopped out. That's just the nature of it on this move. Really need to see this start to continue lower, though. Now would be nice. $41.25. Yeah, it's actually a little bit lower than where my target is. 40. It's really 40, 56.40. So I'm higher by a lot there. We held this long. We're going to hold all the way. If you're still here, man, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you. We're going to see if we could turn a loser into a winner. We're holding our trade. We're doing what we're supposed to do. We're sticking to our plan and managing the trade to the best of our abilities, right? Discretionary. So we'll see. Uh-oh, I don't like that. 56. 45. Oh, I don't like this at all. We got orders that stacked up right down here. Now I'm going to watch what happens if we hit that. What are we doing, ES? What are we doing? 56. Yeah, 56.45 flat, really. We got orders that have stacked up. That could be bad. right at the low. If we react with force from these lows again, if we come down to 45, that would be a reason for me looking at bookmap to maybe manage this trade differently. But 56.40 has only gotten heavier down here, so I'm gonna let this thing go. See if we can get the slow trail to the downside, or if we are gonna indeed react and come back up. Again, don't want to go stop loss to break even. I don't have an option to scale out. I'm still confident in this trade enough to hold it to a loss if it has to be. I'd look to manage if we came up above this level with force. I might cut, somewhere up here and just reduce that. But now I got to watch what happens at 45 right here. If we come down to it, the low. So we got some orders that came on the book. Not as heavy as down here, and not an insane amount, but quite a bit, definitely noticeable. So we get a really super strong reaction to the upside over here. That could be a reason to get out. Then it becomes, in my discretionary reading of this, maybe less likely that we're going to continue down here before we push all the way back up. We might not come and test that at all. We're reacting off this low here, giving it room to breathe. We didn't even come down into that into all that buying pressure before we're coming back up. Buyer stepping in, taking it higher. Not a whole lot of volume, but this doesn't look great. Would have liked this to just rip right down through with some force. Again, not smothering the trade. Didn't go stop loss to break even for a specific reason. Got someone that says my target's 56.31. Nice, man. Nice. Yep. This doesn't look good. So up at time frames, just to try to get a little bit better of perspective here. Yeah, I don't love the lack of follow through here. I really don't. I got enough conviction to hold this one though. I can see it playing out right after I close and draw down, and I don't want to be long. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna hang for a little bit. But if you're on here, man, appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Got a longer stream going because I'm in a trade. Trying to, yeah, we're holding into New York lunch. It's not great. 12 p.m. Eastern. A lot of times volatility starts to die down. We'll see what we get over the next few minutes here, though. But yeah, man, if you're here and you're not in the free Discord, hop in. Great trading community. No VIP paywall to be here trading live with me. You could ask me questions. Get my analysis for the day, my charts, my markup. I send all that over. Been sending that over every morning, along with news, financial news that may impact the markets. Anything that we really got to be paying attention to. Got buyers taking it a little bit higher now. Doesn't look like a whole bunch of volume behind it, which is good for my case of it coming lower. I do see orders at 45 now on the book. At this low, we would have to see them get through that really with some force and continue lower. If we got a chance of coming down below that, again, these orders are still sitting here, man. A lot of big choppy back and forth price movements, though, that I really don't like sitting through if I don't have to. But here I am in the trade, waiting for it to potentially play out. Drawdown, profit, drawdown again. Small profit, not enough for me to take anything. Plus one mini, not really an opportunity to scale out like that. Yeah, this doesn't look great. Testing pre-market low again. I'm going to see what happens around this level. Maybe get a chance to manage as it approaches a stop. If it continues up. Scroll out so VWAP fixes itself. Back down with some force. Orders coming on and off at 45. Again, I'm watching this low to see what happens if we do come back down to it before it comes up and stops me out. Sellers trying to take this thing lower. see what happens if we approach 45. Opportunity to break this again. Let's see what we could do this time. ES, work with me here, man. Come on. Let's see it happen. Yeah, again, apologies for being a little bit quiet. I know at the beginning of the stream, I yap my brains out to you guys. Once I'm in the trade, I do actively manage my trades. So I'm staring at Bookmap over here. That's kind of why my head's turned. I'm watching, trying my best to read the order book, watch what's coming on and off, watching what price is doing, watching candlesticks, market structure form, trying to discern that price action and make the best decision that I possibly can for the trade that I'm in. Oh, man, had the chance to break this low. Sellers stepped in again. Buyers now a little bit taking it higher. Just this choppy back and forth, rangy trading that we got going on. Would love to see this break and continue down. This structure is okay to see that. Choppiness and then sellers back in. Buyers really get exhausted trying to take the thing back into the range, and it just comes down and cracks these these levels of liquidity. Comes down and picks up the stuff that's lower. So I'd like to see it, and I'm willing to put on my $362.50 of risk on this trade here in these combines. Again, we do have orders that are kind of coming on and off at 45, right here. So again, I'm going to watch what happens as we approach this low. We reject here and then come back up. I'm probably going to be stuck taking a loss, maybe below my stop loss on it. But I'm going to hold through that point, pending nothing changes that I'm looking at right now, to see if we do fill, crack lower, and continue to near my target. Depending on what happens as we get down here. If we get down here, I'll manage, and then again, same thing as we come back up. Let's see it, ES. Are we going to do it, or are we going to fail again and come all the way higher? And I have to watch myself get stopped out. This is a long one, boys. This is a long one. This one is testing everyone, man. This one. What's up, Andre? Yeah, this is the test of of your patience, your time, your ability to sit in trades, your ability to go back and forth between profit and loss. It's probably gonna be dead for the next hour. Yeah, man, I know we're into New York lunch. This sucks. It's 12. I don't completely stop trading. I've been on this stream. Let's see, hour and 40 minutes. So this is the second short. It hasn't been an hour and 40 minutes. I got in right over here, 11:27. So about a half hour. Which I do not hold. Usually don't hold trades like this long. But what was I saying there? 12 o'clock. Yeah, I don't like to say, oh, well, it's 12 o'clock, so nothing happens at 12, and I don't trade, and I just shut it down, and I close anything that I have. I'm not that strict with it in general. If I'm looking for trades as I'm coming into that 12 p.m. time frame, I usually start to taper off. I like to trade New York Open to latest around that 12 p.m. unless I'm in a situation like I am now, where I took a trade and now I'm waiting for it to play out. But yeah, I still think we could see this break. It's choppy. There's a lot of consolidation. It still looks down. The more that this happens, the longer this time frame goes without it breaking and coming towards that area, the more likely, at least to me, in the way that I read price action and market structure, the more likely a wick up or back into the zone becomes before a continuation down, or just or not continuing down. So I take that into consideration as well. I try to make the case for and against my trading setup and idea, and as I'm in a trade managing it. So again, I'm tempted to really cut it at 45 if we tap into that. Because I held this long, I am going to wait to see what happens if and when we get down there. Here we go. We got some sellers stepping in. There are orders on the book there for sure. We should see a reaction to the upside, which will not be nice for me, or a continuation to the downside pretty aggressively if we get to this 45 level. I'll show you guys on Bookmap after. I don't want to block up my screen as I'm trying to manage the trade. Let's see. Here we go. Tapping into it. Big selling volume shown on Bookmap. Let's see. Do we break the low and continue? Looks like it's trying. It's trying. Sitting right at that level. Yeah, it looks like those orders stayed on, man, and they filled. Do we get ripped higher now, or do we come lower with some force? I'm in it now. Let's see. If I had to, I'd be taking one off right now. That's step one. Don't want to go stop loss to break even. Not what I want to do on this one. I think it's very likely to come up, tap that before continuing down, if it's going to continue down. Oh, reaction at the lows here, man. Come on, ES. Do your thing. Do that thing you do. See it. Sellers trying to break through this low and take it lower. Let's see. Kind of got it there. Nothing on the book as far as stacked orders until this that I'm looking at on Bookmap until this level. Really here, 56.40. So I want to see it happen. Just don't know if we're going to get it. Again, looking to manage this trade as I see stuff come on and off the book for order map, as I watch this price action and market structure to develop. I'll cut the trade in loss or profit as I see fit, just to keep you guys updated. But back to profit, back to the lows, held all the way through drawdown, trying to hold the conviction to hold this thing to the low. It's failing to break this. Can we get a crack below? There's a wick down. Big volume. Let's see it. Let's see it. Come on. Come on. Do your thing. New lows getting put in. Orders are still on the book. Let's see what happens as we get close. I'm going to get ready to cut it if it doesn't get down there. Go stop loss to break even, just in case we get something crazy. There we go, boys. Let's see what happens at 40, right? Because this level is actually right here. Came all the way down into that level. Again, so I was being a little bit conservative with my order, with my TP above this level. Came all the way down into it. Didn't fill everything there, but that stayed on the book. Again, we got a level to watch right here because we could see the big reaction back up to the upside. Or, like we saw right here, sellers taking it lower with force. It's not just the low, right? We're paying attention to orders on the book. This is the beauty of order flow. Let's see what happens right here. And I'll show you this on Bookmap so you can see what we're looking at. I'll do a quick recap and then wrap it up. Green on the day, a whopping $81.90 for the 2-hour stream here. But brought it back from the loss. The win streak on live continues. I trade outside of live as well that I talked to you guys about in the chat. Look at that, man. Pausing really hard at that 56.40 level. I think it's going to go. I think they're going to continue. I think they're going to take this thing lower. But zero conviction or setup or anything like that for me. I'm just watching it now. Oh, looks like most got filled. Looks like most got filled. There's still some on. Oh, reaction. Look at that. And more coming back on. Here's the power of Bookmap, guys. Finding levels like this. Nothing magical. But let's go through. Well played, bro. That wasn't easy. Gee, congrats, bro. Nice trade. Thank you. Yeah, not easy, man. Listen. I don't sweat taking losses even on live. I don't sweat, the wins or the losses or need something to be good. If you just hopped on, we took a loss and then a win. I'll tell you one other thing I was thinking on that trade that would have really played out nicely. But it took forever. I sat through that using Bookmap. What I do start to get fatigued with is I'm staring at the chart, right, on the 1-minute chart or Bookmap, and I actively manage my trades. I keep saying, because a lot of guys hop on and they go, why did you cut your trade? Or why did you move your stop? Or you didn't hold it to your target or your stop loss. A lot of times I actively manage my trade. I keep saying that, but I get fatigued staring at the chart for so damn long, making a decision really every minute that goes by that I'm in the trade to hold the trade, manage the trade, adjust the stop loss, and a continual, if this happens, then I'll do this. If this happens, then I'll do this, as more information prints. So yeah, it gets a little bit tiring, especially holding into drawdown back into profit past break even for the day. Then it really gets hard to hold to the target. But I set my target there for a reason, and and look at how we're reacting. Again, above this level, because I watched it play out a couple times where it comes really close within a point or two, or whatever it is, and I don't want to be trying to catch the last tick. But let's look at Bookmap real quick, guys. If you're still here and you're still watching that trade, you probably want to know what I was staring at. So we got short. I got short way. Let's actually get the real time. Hang on. I got short way back here. Here, 11:28. The second time. Right? So here's 11:28, right? Here's the orders on the book that I'm targeting. Here's my 56.40 level, right? I have my target, somewhere way above it. If these start to get pulled off as price is rocketing towards it, maybe price reacts and I don't get that. That's fine. I could handle my nice win, without having to bottom ticket. So what I saw was, as price started to come down, right, to retest lows over here to the left, 56.45 come on the board. Not this algorithmic stuff. I don't know the proper name for it, honestly, but let's call it the liquidity that tracks price. This is best bid and offer. This is the volume bubbles that show volume. Here's volume down here as well. I'm not going to talk about cumulative volume delta. But I saw these come on the board, right? As we started to come down, we had a lot of volume traded right here. Now we have orders start to stack up on the book. That was my reason for saying, hey, as we come down to 56.45, we got to watch what happens. It's that low. Now we know for certain there's liquidity there. We got to see what happens. Here it is. Price comes down into it. reacts right here, fills. You can see by the volume bubble. You can see by the volume traded. Quite a bit traded there. Pauses, tries to, maybe buyers maybe trying to pull it higher a little bit, and then we get the sell through that level aggressively, right down to, look at that level that we're looking at. Boom, 56.40. Again, I'm conservative with my take profit on this one, or happen to be in this trade. I'm a point or so higher. Take that and look at what's happened so far. We've started to react right off that level. Does this always happen? Does it always play out like this? Does it always tell this really clean story that I'm able to display for you guys? No, definitely not. But you can understand the power of this based on those last two trades. Had I had my stop loss a little bit higher, a point higher, I would have been able to stay in that first one. That's fine. I managed my trade as I saw fit. Invalidation point for that initial sell was where it needed to be. That's all good. But you could see how this might be useful to someone like myself. So again, we saw the orders come. We saw price come down into this level. We saw some orders be filled. We actually see orders either come off the book or they're completely filled there. And now at the same level, we got orders back on the book. Right? Yeah, right at the 56.40. Let me clean this back up. Kind of like to look at it like that. This is the live stuff. This is the historical stuff, similar to a candlestick chart. But we've got orders sitting here. You can see it stacked on the order book. This is an interesting level to watch. Whether you want to go long or short or whatever it is, in my opinion, it at least for me, adding this into my trading, because I haven't been using Bookmap and order flow for a really long period of time, it's been very helpful to start to learn depth of market, to start to learn order flow, start to utilize Bookmap as a tool to be able to see this stuff printed out on a nice graphic for dumb guys like me that want to see it in colors. I don't want to look at the number. I don't want to look at anything. This is real easy. It just tells me, hey, look, idiot, whether you're trading long or short, you got an area of liquidity down here. You might want to pay attention to what that looks like on your chart, and make your decision from there. So that's what we had go on here. This is a really good example of this thing playing out, being very useful, and reasons to watch certain levels and where you might see a big movement, even if you're not going to use it for your trading, as far as like maybe a trade entry or a target or a stop loss. You could be looking at these areas of liquidity that you might be able to spot on your chart with some accuracy based on highs and lows and market structure. But you don't need to if you have a tool. And you could use those levels to say, hey, something's probably going to happen around this level. It's probably not just going to come here and then nothing's going to happen. I probably should see a reaction or a strong push through that level. Just my 2 cents, what I've been watching so far on ES. Again, I like to give things a lot of time. I like to watch them play out over a large amount of trades, a large amount of different market conditions, different days. And I still got to give Bookmap a lot of time. I don't know how it'll play out for me in the long run. But so far, that's how I've used it. That's how I've used it in this trade, and how it's been helpful. Again, if I didn't have Bookmap, I'm taking a real similar trade, right? Using market structure. Am I targeting exactly 56.40? Do I know that level's there? No. Maybe I'm targeting the top of my zone, like I wanted to put my take profit. Maybe I'm targeting the middle. Maybe I'm coming off of structure over here, which you'll see lines up these highs, way up here. And I say, you know what? I don't think this is going to go any lower. So it's helpful, man. It's helpful for the getting really subtle and nuanced with it. Again, I fully believe price did not have to come down here to grab this liquidity to fill these orders. Could have easily just trended higher, and that would have been left this on the book, and maybe the orders get pulled. It doesn't work out every day, just like every tool. Pre-market low is not always respected as support and resistance. VWAP is not always going to give you the best indication of direction or a dynamic support and resistance. But you find stuff that speaks to you, that works for you, that you could use in your trading. That works often enough to be dangerous. Back test with it, forward test with it, and then decide. Yeah, man. Yeah, volumetrics are a cheat. Consider looking into footprint charts. Yeah, man. I like. Thanks, Joe P. Yeah, I've played around with footprint charts. I decided on Bookmap over Sierra charts, although it was a pretty close decision. I like the way that Bookmap is displayed. I find it really intuitive. But footprint charts also very, very powerful. Again, coming from the Forex market, I'll answer your next question, brother. I saw another question pop up there. Coming from the Forex market where I had no volume data, literally no volume data with the US broker that I was trading with, and then getting volume, that was like a whole new thing opened up for me in futures. Worked through a lot of different things. If you go back through all my live sessions, you'll see me using different volume tools with TradingView. Found some stuff that I like. Next logical step for me was order flow, level 2 data, and looking at Bookmap, learning to read the DOM. That's been extremely helpful. It's more data that, as long as I can process it easily and quickly and not have information overload or look at it from this beginner view of trying to find the Holy Grail, which ain't out there. So don't try to do that. It's helpful to me, very helpful to me. So footprint charts were kind of second to it. Maybe in the future that's something I look at. I'll probably be stuck on Bookmap, I would say, for the next few months at very least, deciding if I like it in the long run, how it works out, really get comfortable reading it, interpreting it, and then applying it to my trading decisions. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, man, it feels like a cheat code. It really does. It's there's nothing that's perfect. But once you recognize that piece, there's no holy grail, there's no special combination of indicators that you're going to win every trade. Once you recognize that, you can lower your expectations back down to reality and find tools that you find actually helpful. And Bookmap for me really immediately is one of those. Again, I grain of salt everything. Let's see how it plays out over 100 trades. Let's see. So that's how I like to look at everything in trading. Yanix, where can I learn to read Bookmap? Number one, you could hop in my free Discord and you could hop on these lives. You'll see me talking about it, showing it here live, explaining how I'm utilizing it in my trading. And two, straight to Bookmap's website. They have a handful of courses on there where they break down the basics of market mechanics first, all the way up to their charts, all the detailed information on setting them up, different add-ons. There's so many different ways you can customize them. You can learn a lot from this site. That's where I started with it. So I would go there first, and then if you want to watch it, be applied for better or for worse in live market conditions, I'll do that for you. Do that for you here. So that's going to be it for me, guys. Again, this is the level that I'd be paying attention to. If you're going to continue on trading, let's see what happens when we come down here. Do we, again, like we had right here, come down hard into it, maybe consolidate for a minute. We get some volume that ticks up. You could see, no, not too much volume that you could see on the traditional volume down here. Yeah, a little bit. Do we see volume pick up and we continue down through it? Maybe that's used as resistance if it gets flipped to support. Or do we continue up from this level? Finding support right now. Sellers really failing to take it lower, but this took forever for my trade to play out. So, we'll see. For me, I'm done. That was long enough. I've been on since well before 9:30, staring at charts, doing analysis, and it looks like a down day. Obviously, that's why I'm taking sells. I think this can trend lower. We are pretty far down outside of the range. We've consolidated a bit. We broke lower. We didn't hit this level and blast through. We found some support there. So sellers not really ripping the face off this thing, heading lower. So we'll see. But good stuff, man. Thanks for streaming. 100%, man. Hop in the community if you guys are not. Free community. No VIP paywall to be here live with me trading. I work with guys one-on-one. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one, you want to trade live through Zoom every morning, dedicated, spend hours and hours per week, one-on-one and in a small group setting, going through everything that goes into profitable trading plan, risk management, psychology, journaling, really developing your entire approach to trading, treating this like a business, and then having somebody to hold you accountable to all that. I'm happy to do that with you. Outside of that, I don't charge for anything. That's really the implementation side and my time that I charge for. Outside of that, you can hop in Discord and ask me questions later today. Guys, I appreciate you being here. Hit the like button on this one. We came back from a loss. What was the first loss? $200 or $300 loss. I got to go back and look through. Up to a whopping $81. This is across 4 accounts. So it's whatever the P&L is times 4. So it can get a little bit hairy when you're hitting daily loss limits like this, but we'll call it near a break even. Nothing to write home about, but always nice to end green or break even over a red. If you're going to end red, have it be within your range of your trading plan, your risk management plan. So Andre, I'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to you guys in Discord. I'll see you. Thanks for being here. Again, like and subscribe if you feel like it. It's free, so you don't have to do anything. I'll see you guys in Discord.